I watched Rachel walk out that night, the door clicking shut behind her like the final nail in the coffin of our marriage. Silence followed, thick and suffocating. The living room felt too big, too empty. The scent of her perfume still lingered, a cruel reminder of the woman who had just abandoned her family without hesitation. Mia clung to me, her small arms wrapped tightly around my waist. She didn't fully understand what had happened, but she knew something was wrong. Her mother, the woman she adored, had left without a proper goodbye. "Is Mommy coming back?" she whispered, her voice trembling. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "No, sweetheart. She's not." Tears welled in her big blue eyes, but she didn't cry. Instead, she buried her face in my chest, seeking comfort in the only parent she had left. My heart shattered. No child deserved this, least of all my little girl. That night, I lay awake long after Mia had drifted off. I kept replaying the past few months, searching for signs I had missed. Had Rachel ever really loved me? Or had I just been a stepping stone in her selfish journey? The truth was, Rachel had changed long before she packed her bags. She had grown distant, sneaking off for girls' nights that stretched until dawn. Her phone, once left casually on the counter, had become an extension of her hand, always locked, always guarded. She smiled less, touched me even less than that. I had asked, begged even, for her to tell me what was wrong. She dismissed me with tired excuses, stress, work, exhaustion. Lies. All of it. And now I knew why. Nathan had stolen her away. Or maybe, she had offered herself to him. Either way, she was gone. A part of me wanted to rage, to call her and scream. But what would that do? She had made her decision. Now, I had to make mine. Mia stirred in her sleep, her tiny fingers grasping my shirt. That was my answer. She was all that mattered. Morning came, heavy and slow. Mia woke up quieter than usual, her usual bubbly energy dulled by the weight of loss. "Do you want pancakes?" I asked, trying to sound cheerful. She nodded, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. I cooked in silence, the absence of Rachel making the house feel hollow. Breakfasts had always been a family affair, Rachel sipping coffee, Mia giggling at silly jokes. Now, it was just the two of us. Halfway through eating, Mia hesitated, then spoke. "Can I call Mommy?" Pain stabbed through me. "I don't think she'll answer, sweetheart." She looked down at her plate. "But maybe she misses me?" I forced a smile. "Maybe." But I knew the truth. Rachel had chosen her new life over us. And I wouldn't let Mia get hurt chasing after a mother who didn't care. The first few weeks were the hardest. Mia cried at night, whispering for her mother in her sleep. I held her close, whispering reassurances I wasn't sure I believed myself. Days blurred into weeks, then months. Slowly, Mia adjusted. She still asked about Rachel, but less often. And with each passing day, she smiled a little more. Then one afternoon, while picking Mia up from school, I heard the whispers. "Did you see those pictures? She's already on vacation with him." Rachel's name hung in the air like a curse. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. I didn't want to know. I didn't need to. But curiosity won. That night, after putting Mia to bed, I searched for her. There she was, smiling in some luxurious resort, cocktail in hand. Nathan's arm draped possessively around her waist. They looked happy, carefree, like we had never existed. Rage burned hot, but it quickly faded into something colder, determination. Rachel thought she had won, that she had traded up. She had no idea that she had made the worst mistake of her life. I left the cafe without looking back. Rachel's words replayed in my mind, but they carried no weight. Regret meant nothing when it came after destruction. She had made her choices, and now she had to live with them. Driving home, I thought about Mia. She still clung to the idea of her mother returning, still believed in fairy tale endings. But life wasn't a storybook. The pain Rachel had inflicted wouldn't vanish with a few apologies. When I walked through the front door, Mia was waiting, perched on the couch with hopeful eyes. "Did you see Mommy?" I nodded, setting my keys on the counter. "Yeah, I did." Her legs swung anxiously. "Did she ask about me?" I crouched down in front of her. She said she misses you. Mia's face lit up. When can I see her? I hesitated. Soon. It wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the full truth either. Rachel wanted back in, but I wouldn't let her waltz in and out of Mia's life as she pleased. The next morning, I received another message. Rachel, can we meet again? Please, Lucas. I need to talk. I ignored it. Hours later, another text. Then another. By evening, she was calling. I finally answered. What do you want, Rachel? A shaky breath. I need to see Mia. I can't stop thinking about her. You didn't think about her when you walked out. I was stupid.
Yeah.
You were. Silence. Then, softly, I'm not with Nathan anymore. I smirked. Shocking. Her voice cracked. He cheated on me. I leaned against the counter. You expect sympathy? No, she admitted. But I thought, maybe you'd understand. I laughed, bitter and sharp. Understand? Rachel, you destroyed our family for that man. You left your own daughter behind. Now that it's blown up in your face, you think you can just come back. I don't know what else to do, she whispered. That's not my problem. She sniffled. Lucas, please. I hung up. Rachel had made her bed. Now she had to lie in it. The days passed, and she kept trying. More texts. More calls. More pleading. I allowed one visit, for Mia's sake, not hers. Rachel arrived looking nothing like the confident woman who had walked out of our home months ago. She was thinner, her makeup smudged from crying. Guilt was written all over her face. Mia, oblivious to the tension, ran into her arms. Mommy! Rachel clung to her, sobbing. I missed you, baby. They sat together, talking about school, friends, cartoons. I watched silently, analyzing every forced smile, every calculated touch. When Mia ran to grab a picture she had drawn for her, Rachel turned to me. Thank you for this. I crossed my arms. Don't thank me. Just don't hurt her again. She wiped her eyes. I won't. I didn't believe her. Later that night, another call came in. Rachel, I want full custody. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. You're insane. I'm her mother, she snapped. You were her mother, I corrected. Now, you're just the woman who left. You can't keep her from me. I leaned back. You walked away. The courts won't side with you. Her voice wavered. I made a mistake. You made a choice, I corrected. And now, you get to live with it. The line went dead. I exhaled slowly. Rachel thought she could come crawling back and rewrite history. But I wasn't the same man she left behind. And she was about to learn that the hard way. Rachel's audacity knew no bounds. The woman who had shattered our home, abandoned our daughter, and chosen another man over us now believed she could waltz back into our lives and claim full custody. The sheer arrogance of it made me laugh, but beneath that laughter, rage simmered. Mia deserved stability, not a mother who left when things got tough and returned only when she had nowhere else to go. The next morning, I called my lawyer. She wants custody. Mark sounded amused. After everything she's done? That's what she said, I muttered. I need to make sure she doesn't get the chance. Don't worry, he assured me. She has no case. She abandoned her child for another man, didn't send support, didn't even check in consistently. No judge is going to take her side. Good, I said, gripping the phone tighter. Because I won't let her hurt Mia again. That night, I found Rachel waiting outside my house. Lucas, she started as I stepped out onto the porch. Please, can we talk? I folded my arms. There's nothing to say. She took a deep breath. I know I hurt you. I know I hurt Mia. But I'm trying to fix it. I shook my head. You don't get to fix this, Rachel. You left. You chose Nathan. Now that he's gone, you think you can crawl back like nothing happened. Tears welled in her eyes. I made a mistake. You made several. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Lucas, please. I miss you. I froze. Her lips trembled. I miss us. A bitter laugh escaped me. Us? There is no us, Rachel. You destroyed that the moment you let another man touch you. I was stupid, she whispered. I thought he loved me. And now that you know he didn't, you're here? I scoffed. Not because you love me, but because you have nowhere else to go. She flinched. That's not true. It is, I said coldly. And I won't let you use Mia to fix your mistakes. Rachel shook her head, fresh tears spilling down her cheeks. I still love you, Lucas. I smirked. You don't love me. You love stability. You love comfort. You love knowing that I'll always be there. But that's over. She reached for my hand, desperation in her gaze. Please. I need another chance. I stepped inside and shut the door in her face. Days passed, then weeks. Rachel continued reaching out, but I ignored her. She didn't love me. She loved the idea of redemption. But I wasn't her savior. Then, one afternoon, I received an email from my lawyer. Rachel filed for custody. I stared at the screen, anger tightening my grip on the mouse. She was really doing this. Mark called minutes later. Don't worry, he said. She has no case. But we'll need to be prepared. Prepared? I had been prepared the moment Rachel left. That night, I found myself scrolling through Rachel's social media again. Her once glamorous life had crumbled. The comments under her photos told the story. Nathan had dumped her for another woman, leaving her humiliated and alone. And now, she wanted Mia as her consolation prize. I wouldn't let that happen. A plan began to form. Rachel thought she had control. She thought she could manipulate the system the way she had manipulated me. But she had no idea what was coming. The courtroom was colder than I expected. Not just in temperature, but in atmosphere. Rachel sat across from me, her once confident posture replaced by nervous fidgeting. She had dressed carefully, soft pastels, minimal makeup, hair neatly curled, as if playing the role of the perfect mother would erase the months she had been absent. Mia sat with my sister in the waiting area. I hadn't wanted her here, hadn't wanted her to witness the battle between the two people she loved most. Rachel avoided my gaze. She knew. She knew this was a fight she wouldn't win. The judge entered, and the proceedings began. Rachel's lawyer painted a picture of a mother who had made mistakes but had since seen the error of her ways. He emphasized that she had given birth to Mia, that a child needed her mother, that she was remorseful. I didn't flinch. When my lawyer spoke, he didn't have to embellish anything. He laid out the truth in cold, undeniable facts. Rachel had abandoned Mia. She had willingly walked out to chase after another man. She hadn't provided for her child. She had ignored phone calls. She had only come crawling back when her fantasy life fell apart. And now, she wanted to rip Mia from the only stability she had left? Rachel's lawyer tried to argue, but the damage was done. Then the judge turned to Rachel. "Do you have anything to say?" Rachel hesitated, her lip quivering. She glanced at me, then looked down. "I love my daughter," she whispered. "I made a mistake, but I want to be her mother again." The judge nodded, then delivered the decision. Full custody granted to Lucas Parker. Rachel inhaled sharply. Her mouth opened like she wanted to argue, but she knew better. Tears welled in her eyes as reality hit. She had lost. I didn't smile. I didn't gloat. I just stood, shook my lawyer's hand, and walked out. Rachel asked to see Mia one last time before leaving. I agreed. Mia ran to her, arms wrapping around Rachel's waist. "I miss you, Mommy." Rachel sobbed into Mia's hair. "I miss you too, baby." Mia pulled back, eyes shining with hope. "You'll come back soon?" Rachel swallowed, glancing at me. She knew she wouldn't. Not in the way Mia wanted. She cupped Mia's face. "I love you so much." Mia beamed. "Love you too, Mommy." Rachel looked at me one last time, a silent plea in her gaze. But I had nothing left to give. She walked away without another word. That night, Mia curled up beside me on the couch, watching cartoons. "Daddy." "Yeah, sweetheart." Are we gonna be okay? I kissed the top of her head. We already are. Rachel was gone. But we remained. And that was all we needed.